right, guys. Look, I know I'm late to this shit. Haven't y'all like, damn, nigga, it was like over a week ago. I know, like I've been busy. Like I'm pretty sure y'all know what happened. Like, that's why I haven't been streaming. So, and when you don't stream on YouTube or upload videos on YouTube, they push you down. So I'm pretty sure, like, gotta start all over again. So yeah, man. Anyway, Elissa Slotkin decided to go on breaking points because my theory is that I think that she thought that she was going to get a softball interview, which like she got pushed back from both Krystal and Saga, which rightfully so because Elissa Slotkin, they want Elissa Slotkin to be the next token child of the Democratic Party, like Chucky Boy Schumer earlier this year during Trump's State of the Union address had her to do a rebuttal, which to be honest, it wasn't a rebuttal at all. Let's just keep it 100. It was more like a fluff piece. Oh, the American dream, this and that, and I'm like, oh, like this ain't a rebuttal to Trump. Like, damn, man, like that right there should show everybody that the Democratic Party don't fight, and that's the reason why too Democratic favorability rating is so goddamn low because the Democratic Party don't want to fight. Like they again, like I always say, they agree with most of the stuff the Republicans are doing. Like, hey, that thing is, hey, Republicans take the heat, even though we agree with it. You know, like I said, like Democrats are, you know, Democrats is like a car that looks good on the outside and inside is rust all in that motherfucker, all in the frames and shit. Like the Republicans, at least they show you what the car, like the car, they show you what the car really is. Like it's a rust bucket. You know, the Democratic Party is a used car salesman. Yeah, like oh, you get this car, this Mercedes Benz, 2009 Mercedes Benz with only 65,000 miles on it, but they fucking clear the codes on that motherfucker and shit. Like the motherfucker, probably, the engine probably toast. It probably like it's something majorly wrong with it. At least the Republicans show me, hey, the engine is fucked up, I ain't gonna fix it. Hey, you buy it as is. So anyway, man, without further ado, man, I skipped the beginning of it. They talk about you know the Democratic Party and Zoran Mondumi, like and stuff like that. Like I skipped all that. Now the major part I want to get to is the Gaza situation. You know, when it comes to the left in general, like yeah, if I even call some of these people the left, like we pretty much lockstep on Gaza, pretty much. So yeah, let me get to this, man. Like I use YouTube because I'm not playing the whole thing. You know how YouTube is. YouTube don't want you to do stick commentary like this anymore. So, all right, y'all, let's get to it.
I'm actually a little curious, and forgive me if this is impolite. Like, I'm curious why you wanted to talk to us.
What do you mean?
Well, like, we don't have actually a lot of senators, especially ones who have very different ideologies.
The reason why she wanted to talk to y'all because she wanted to get her name out there. She wanted to go into I guess the quote unquote indie media space. Like she want to get her feet wet because I'm pretty sure that the DNC lackeys told her, hey, yeah, you need to, we want you to be our next major person. So, you go on these independent media platforms, and talk about, establishment talking points. Like that's why they want her to come over there. But they did, which again, like I said, Elissa Slotkin did not expect to get pushed back the way she did. And I'm glad Krystal Ball pushed back on her. Hey, I get her credit. You know, like when I gave Erica Sperry credit for going off of those Zionist sycophants on Piers Morgan show. Hey, I give credit when credit's due, man. I'm not a hypocrite. Even though I disagree with some of the stuff they say. So yeah, that's why Elissa Slotkin went on Breaking Point.
Than us reach out. So I'm curious what your goal was and why you thought to come here.
Well, first of all, I think you have a good audience. I mean, right?
We agree.
If you appealed to like 4 friends on YouTube or whatever, then I probably wouldn't be here. But I think, to me, part of the problem is that people have kind of gone to their corners. And I live this, right? I live on my family farm in a town that voted heavily for Donald Trump. I've never won my town. I've never won my precinct. I've never won my neighbors. We get along, but I never won them, and I probably never will. So to me, I think that the people have gone to their corners.
Oh boy. So yeah, like that's not the reason why you wanted to come on there. Stop it. Oh, because people go to their corners, believe what they want to believe, and Krystal's on the left. Saga is a conservative, populist, whatever they call them. So yeah, like look at her, like she's trying to cops blame, man. Come on.
And people who used to be able to talk about politics and disagree don't even get in the same room together. So I kind of like the idea of your show. Like, it was interesting to me when my team pitched me, right? We go through, and there's no hiding it. Lots of people are like, how do we evolve in this new space? Yeah. That's not it's not that conversation isn't happening. It is. And I think that's good. And to the credit of lots of shows like yours.
Yeah.
Thank you.
But I think your show appealed to me as I was being pitched because you guys don't agree. And I am very focused. My dad was a lifelong Republican, my mom a lifelong Democrat. Michiganders want to get back to a place where we can disagree on politics and not have it be so bitter.
So I hear you on the idea of you want to talk about the economics and the unifying and cost of living. And I think that ignores a big elephant in the room, especially when you're talking about even Zohran Mamdani. The reason Hakeem Jeffries and Chuck Schumer don't want to endorse him is because of his position on Israel. The single most viral clip that he had in that election actually wasn't about cost of living, even though that's what he wanted to make his campaign about. His opponents, Andrew Cuomo in particular, wanted to make it all about accusing him of anti-Semitism and attacking him for his views on Israel and Palestine. So the most viral moment from that entire campaign, I believe, was this moment on the debate stage. Guys, this is E1. Let me go ahead and play this for you, and then I want to get your reaction.
Mr. Mamdani.
I would stay in New York City. My plans are to address New Yorkers across the 5 boroughs and focus on that.
Mr. Mamdani, can I just jump in? Would you visit Israel? As mayor?
I will be doing, as the mayor, I'll be standing up for Jewish New Yorkers, and I'll be meeting them wherever they are across the 5 boroughs, whether that's in their synagogues and temples or at their homes or at the subway platform, because ultimately we need to focus on delivering on their concerns.
And just yes or no, do you believe in a Jewish state of Israel?
I believe Israel has the right to exist.
Not
as a Jewish state?
Notice.
As a state with equal rights.
Now, this was considered very controversial when he said it, and I think the results are in at this point that he didn't win in spite of his position there. He won in part because of it, including, if you listen to Andrew Cuomo's numbers, he won a majority of Jewish voters.
Now, that right there, that right there, Israel does not have a right to exist. A lot of, that one of the reasons why, Zoran, to me, and I don't live in New York, so, like I said, my take on Zoran is this, hey, if the guy does, half of, what he says, hey, I give him credit due. But again, when it comes to the Israel thing, saying Israel has the right to exist, he's trying to hold the line there, he obviously don't like Netanyahu, okay, but saying that apartheid state that was already occupied territory, which was Palestine, done the Nakba, and now doing what they're doing now, should have a right to exist? Nah, bro, hell no. But let me continue.
Inside of New York City. And so what I'm curious for your view on is, while, I would love to debate you on your healthcare policy. I think we need Medicare for all. You think public option, your housing policy, et cetera. I'm just being really real with you. I don't really hear what you say if you are still supporting a genocide in Gaza. And that's for me, I'm speaking for myself, but I know there are millions of other people who feel the same, that you have to at least cross this sort of moral threshold. And what it indicates to people, and I think part of why, Zoran won so many people in New York City, young people in particular, but Jewish New Yorkers, people across the board, is because it was a sign of, number one, okay, you're focused on.
See, this is why, Israel knows, I know I'm getting off topic here, but Israel knows that they're losing the plot. Like nobody, like the support of Israel, these days is at an all-time low, which, that makes me so happy. Growing up as a Christian, like I never understood, like the Bible always emphasized Israel a lot, in which in part was supposed to emphasize Palestine. But because like this is what me and Mama come at crossroads with, is because it's like, I wasn't a Zionist. I was never a Zionist. I didn't understand what I understood for the last 3 years, man. Like maybe I should have. This is why I say, like, educate yourself. Like like I heard of Palestinian people, but I didn't like understood like the land was occupied. You know what I mean? Like I was very like nonchalant when it comes to stuff like that. That's one of the things I regret. But now, since I understand what's really going on, or what really happened, since really before 1948, because a lot of times people say go back to the early 1900s, like like these European people saying that this is God's, like they are God's chosen people. You know what I mean? And just get on this land. It just it boggles my mind. And I don't blame Krystal. Like, you can say, hey, I believe in this, that, and that, but you still standing 10 toes down for Israel. And also too, Elissa Slotkin takes APAC money, by the way, guys. I'm pretty sure everybody knows that. Like, this clip went viral all over social media, and I'm just covering it because I'm late as fuck. But yeah, man, like I bet Elissa Slotkin like, what? Holy shit! I thought I would just go get a softball interview. Maybe a little pushback from Saga. Saga. I can't believe I'm saying what Cal Kalinske said, but Cal said like Krystal's being the authoritarian mom in this situation, and Cal and Saga's being the soft toned dad. Really, yeah, I can't unsee that. Yeah, like hey, this is what I'm talking about. Like, I don't mind having a politician on your show. It's just like you got to push back on these people. Like, never she doing. And Saka, he pushed back a little bit too. Like, yeah, like you got to hold these politicians accountable. So, yeah, man, I know I got off on a little rant there. I didn't mean to, but I just thinking about certain things.
New York City first and.
Oh shit. Sorry.
But I know there are millions of other people who feel the same, that you have to at least cross this sort of moral threshold. And what it indicates to people, and I think part of why, Zoran won so many people in New York City, young people in particular, but Jewish New Yorkers, people across the board, is because it was a sign of, number one, okay, you're focused on New York City first and foremost.
Sure.
Number two, you're willing to take the heat on an issue that is really difficult for you, where you're being overtly smeared as an anti-Semite. And number three, there's no, entrenched interest that's going to control. You have a spine, you have principles, you're willing to stand up for something. And so, I'm curious for your reflections on that because of your voting record and where you've stood on this conflict.
Yeah, well, I mean, one of the proudest moments that I had in my last election, where I just won on the same ballot as Donald Trump, was that I won a majority of Jewish voters in Michigan. We have a large Jewish population. And I won Dearborn Heights, and Hamtramck, the 3 Muslim-dominated cities. Trump won 2 out of the 3. So I think the thing that I would push back on is voters vote with their feet, right? We have a moment in an election where they get to decide. And there was no issue that was more difficult for me in this last, I would say 6 years, but certainly in this last election, other than this issue, because it's personal. I'm a Middle East analyst by training. And so what I tried to do and why I think I managed to win both those communities is call balls and strikes, literally up to this week on what's going on.
So let's talk a little bit more about that.
But I think it's important, right? If you're going to push on me, then I think like there's one of us that's had an election and had to appeal to my voters and win. And so it doesn't surprise me at all that Mr. Mamdani won. Or actually, I didn't know his name. I didn't know much about him until he won. But because I think this issue is motivating people in a very visceral and personal way.
Yeah.
But it's not the only issue that my voters in Michigan care about.
Of course.
And the online world is extremely focused on this, but that doesn't always represent the majority. And I think if I can push back, like if we're out on the road every day in Michigan when I'm there. In some communities, that issue is the number one issue, 100%. And like, I mean, up till this morning, right? Like people texting my phone and talking about a plan, some of the things we're working on. But I go outside the Detroit area, it's not in the top 40.
But Senator, it's not just a political issue, it's also a moral issue is what I'm trying to get to. So let's talk about those, calling them balls and strikes, if you will.
So basically, that little soliloquy that Elissa Slotkin gave, basically she's saying like, hey, it's a very sensitive issue, but, the reason why I won was because of basically, the kitchen table issues. It's not necessarily what's going on in Gaza. I don't know why I'm talking like Bill Clinton, but yeah, man, like, yeah, she full of shit. Like, she wasn't ready for that question. Like, Krystal gave it to her, she wasn't ready. You could tell, like, that's why she said, "Oh, I won. I won mostly Muslim. I won in a Muslim area, in a Jewish area. Like, but see, so basically, the kitchen table issue is more important. Like, that's what I got from what she said. But let me let it continue.
So first of all, do you accept that Israel has a policy of enforced famine and starvation in the Gaza Strip?
I think I literally put my name on a letter yesterday or last night that says like a policy of starvation, people are starting to starve. And in general, I mean, I served in places like Ramadi and Fallujah. I watched in 2004 and 2005, Al-Qaeda terrorists drag American citizens behind a vehicle until they died, right? Like horrible, and then string them up, like a lynching.
Okay.
We still had a responsibility to get aid into Fallujah, despite the fact that we were fighting Al-Qaeda cells in Fallujah. And I have been clear about that.
So this is a crime against humanity. Forced starvation is a crime against humanity.
The occupying power has a responsibility to get aid into the war zone, period.
So
by the law of war.
So in addition.
But they're not doing it. Oh my God, like she wasn't ready, bro. Fallujah, even though Al-Qaeda, occupied that territory, we still had a responsibility to get aid, and now, like, Israel was not bringing aid into Gaza. If it were, then why every time I log on to Twitter, I see the insides of Palestinian children because they at stage 5 starvation. See, people like this, Elissa Slotkin and these other dummies, they're full of shit. Obviously, like we all know that. Like, I mean, coming from this, like if you know, you know. Like, but it's good to see in real time, under pressure, what these people are coming from. Oh, geez.
And do you accept that the Israeli plan, as reported by Haaretz, as discussed openly by ministers like Ben-Gvir and Smotrich, as backed by the President of the United States, is forced ethnic cleansing?
I think we have, as recently as yesterday, the Prime Minister of Israel talking about forced migration into certain areas and then potentially out of the country. That is not legal. That is not on any international standard since World War II. And I've been clear about that. So I would ask for a little bit of an open mind.
Well, what I would ask is, listen, I'm a YouTuber, I have my words, that's all I have. But you're a United States Senator. Like you're not the president, but you have power. So what are you going to do? Because so far what we've seen, I mean, you voted for some of the aid that's been used to massacre children and innocents. You have backed Israel, as far as I can tell, your voting record at almost every turn. You voted for a definition of anti-Semitism that would, codify anti-Zionism as anti-Semitism. You voted as a member of the House to sanction the ICC for indicting Benjamin Netanyahu, who you just admitted is a war criminal, by your own words. So are you going to join Senator Angus King, Senator Bernie Sanders in saying no more aid to this country that is committing war crimes against innocent civilians?
I think the first thing, if you're asking about what to do with power, and I would offer that right now Democrats own nothing in Washington. So
don't play powerless.
See what's going on is that I kind of would do something about it, but technically, Democrats we don't have no power right now. And then most of my constituents and myself and I too, like we support Israel. We take the AIPAC money and J Street money and any other Israeli lobby that control Washington D.C. So yeah, cut the shit, woman. Cut the shit. See, now things are about to get spicy now. Again, man, this woman was so unprepared, bro. She thought she gonna get softballed. But glad Krystal came with the sledgehammer. Give the PFC class credit is due, man. Oh, this one, came with the sledgehammer. You heard what she said at the end, basically, cut the shit. Cut the shit. That's the excuse to have. Her buddy Hakeem Jeffrey said, what leverage do we have? Why we let Elon and the billionaires, loot the treasury? What leverage do we have? Yeah. Come on, bro. This woman don't give a shit about Palestinians. She don't care about the starvation, because if she did, she wouldn't vote for aid going to Israel. And then she would not vote to sanction the ICC, which at this point, what's the point of having an arrest warrant when Benjamin Netanyahu's still roaming around this bitch free? This motherfucker go to Washington D.C. and take photo ops with these fucking psychopathic people in our Congress, man. These fucking evil pieces of let me continue, man. It's getting good now, boy.
Not with me. You're a United States Senator. There are things you can do.
In terms of who runs our foreign policy, I just think it's interesting, right? That there was a ton of protests when Democrats were in charge.
There was a protest in Manhattan yesterday.
Okay. I think it's fair to say, just to be honest, that back and forth, the number of protests that go on now versus before.
Well, they were part of your political coalition.
Well, that's
right?
not. I mean, Senator Slotkin.
That's fair.
Obviously, I'm here.
Yeah.
I was very upset over the Biden administration policy, and as you can tell, I'm very upset over the Trump administration policy.
Yeah.
So let's deal not in strawman, but me and here and now.
In terms of the tools that I have, the tools that we have in general, to me, the most important thing is a pressurized campaign to get aid into people who are starving. That to me is.
Oh God! When people start doing the hand motions and stuff, they full of shit. See what gotta happen. What a plan. When Trump said, "I got concepts of a plan." That's basically what she doing. She's trying to cop-splain, her way out of this. We gotta find a way, even though, I support Israel hand and foot, but we still, we gotta bring aid into Gaza. Now, you, again, like I said, you don't give a shit.
The number one, because that's the one is urgent and today. And that.
But will you cut off aid to Israel so long as they're committing crimes against humanity?
There is a difference between a weapon to protect a country from incoming missiles versus other type. Offensive and defensive weapons are different.
So would you support offensive weapons ban? Would you stop any offensive aid to Israel?
That certainly, to me, would be a place to look, but I'm not going to cut off a blanket next sale on a defensive weapon that comes through. No.
I also reject that because, for example, if Senator Slotkin, if you were asked to support defensive weapons for Iran, defensive weapons for Russia, you wouldn't back that.
No, but Iran, I mean, but
they're defensive. They're just
oh no, but shit, damn man, you got my ass good. No, like that's a good scenario. Yeah, so basically what you're saying is that Israel can have offensive and defensive weapons, but same case scenario. So if Russia and China and Iran, so you don't want them to have defensive weapons, but Israel can. Like, come on, bro. Totally fumbled the bag. Like she was, man. Like, you talking about coming unprepared? Like, like. Oh, Jesus Christ, boy.
protecting civilians, right? So how is it different?
But because Israel's being shot.
So basically, I'm going to use this as a scenario. So basically, Israel could have defensive weapons to protect their civilians, but Iran, China, and Russia can't because they're not our allies and we hate them. It's like you sound like a hypocrite. Sound like a big old hypocrite here. And you really got cooked on this part. I know a lot of people talked about this when they covered this same as I did.
Not at. I mean,
well, so is
Russia. So is Iran.
Yeah.
So is Russia.
Ukraine's shooting at Russia right now. Right?
I'm sorry. This is the difference between allies, partners, and adversaries.
Why is it an ally then? What are they doing right now, like, which makes it an ally?
I think allied relationships, just like Lithuania right now, like an allied relationship or a partner relationship is a long-standing relationship of information sharing and diplomacy. And that is, to me, it's not a like every day we decide Lithuania is our ally or not. We're allied or not. And sometimes we have big breaks with allies, right? Sometimes we have difficult moments with allies. Sometimes it goes the wrong way with allies. But an allied relationship is a long-term relationship.
It's hard for me to understand why we should ally. Like, I'm sure you believe in, like, or claim to believe in liberal human rights. Why would we ally with a nation that is committing a genocide and live streaming it?
Can I ask, literally, like this, I think about this from the mirror image way, because I do not support the things that Donald Trump is doing, right? Mm-hmm. But I'm an American. So
you don't support the things Donald Trump doing except for what he's doing with Gaza. You obviously support that because you voted to give money to Israel. See what I'm saying? Like, this is why we keep saying, like, the two-party system is really a uniparty. Because, when it comes to Israel, man, like, holy shit, bro. Like, I noticed something, like, anything that helps the American people, no dice. Like, like, it's always a standstill, or it's always get cut, or means tested, or reformed. But any money, any unlimited funds go to Israel, holy shit. No matter whether it's Joe Biden or Donald Trump, it's going to go zoom through the, it's going to pass with flying colors. So, yeah, man, she's totally fumbling here. You can tell, like, she's her train of thought changed. Like, holy shit, what I gotta say? Oh my god, it got my ass good. Like Saka, he started, giving her, like, kind of like a softball interview. Softball, then Krystal came with the punch. Like,
I want other countries to look at America and be like, we can't stand Donald Trump, so we're going to end any longstanding relationship we have with the American people. We're going to cut off any support we give them on information sharing or intelligence sharing. Like, we are not just our elected leaders. And I think that's the thing that's been lost in the conversation.
So B'Tselem and another Israeli human rights organization joined the global consensus, Amnesty International, some 800 scholars. There was a piece from an Israeli scholar in the New York Times in saying this is a genocide. Do you accept, even Marjorie Taylor Greene yesterday came out and said it's a genocide. Do you accept that? And if you do, I mean, what responsibility does a United States senator have? For this is a nation that, we send every year billions of dollars to aid that you have, voted for and supported. Like, what responsibility does a United States senator have to prevent genocide and to stop genocide that we see ongoing?
We have a responsibility up till today to ensure that food is getting in.
Is it
so
a
that
genocide?
People don't starve. I don't know that I'd use that term,
Why?
but it is.
Jesus Christ, bro. Jesus Christ. I don't know if I can use that term. You know, she sound like Bernie Sanders. She sound like Bernie Sanders. You know, Krystal. You know, she still supports Bernie Sanders. Like Bernie Sanders literally said, I don't think that's the right term. You know, genocide. You know, oh God. But you know, oh man, like these people pretend to be stupid. Like it's not even a genocide at this point. Calling it a genocide is softballing. It's a Holocaust. That's what it should be really called at this point. It's a Holocaust, bro. Oh my God. You know, you know. Oh my God, bro. Sometimes you just be left speechless, but I let it continue.
It is violating the law of war.
Why don't you use the term though?
Because I think, you know, it's, to me, do I think it's ethnic cleansing, which is what I think of in genocide? I don't know if it meets that definition.
They're
Yeah, but
announcing
didn't you
it.
say it?
Boy, the Democrats, they pick them, don't they? They pick some of the dumbest motherfuckers on planet Earth, man. Holy shit. Same as ethnic cleansing, bro. I don't know. You know, I don't know if it meets that criteria. What? Oh my God, man. I'm trying not to. I don't want to crash out. Like I seen this before, guys, but that's why I'm got kind of calm. I'm just laughing at this idiot at this point. Oh God, like my thing is you can't sit there and watch like everybody has a cell phone. Everybody, has, Twitter or, or Instagram or Facebook. Like like the genocide is like it's live, it's broadcast on our phones every day. Every day you log on Twitter and and you see either Gaza notifications or you see drop site news or these other sites that show images coming from Gaza every day, and you see what's going on, and you sitting here telling me that what's going on right now isn't doesn't meet the criteria of a fucking genocide? Are you fucking kidding me? Are you? Man, I swear to God. Oh my God, bro. Like her job is to be dumb. Like, these people play like politics is pookie theater, bro. Everybody plays a part. Everybody, has a significant role. This is what this is about. Like she's pretending to be dumb. Oh God, like that's her job. Like, she wasn't ready for this interview. She thought it was gonna be a softball interview, like she thought, it was gonna be a few vehement disagreements here and there, but like holy shit. When Gaza came up, oh boy. She like did in the goddamn headlights, man. Holy shit.
Earlier that it was ethnic cleansing. He said that they wanted to force it. I mean, this is open from the Israeli government. Like they're saying it. Their
And from
Minister of
Trump,
National
too.
Security. They come out and they're like, we don't need shells. We need shells, not food. And we need to encourage migration.
Look,
they're saying
you're
Yeah.
not going to get me to
Yeah.
support what the Israeli government is saying right now. I think the point I was trying to make is it's not just about like we have relationships with nations over time, regardless of who their leaders are. We have really tough moments. We have easier moments, but that doesn't. So I'm not willing to say that like I hate everything ever.
Sure,
into
but
the
so
future.
even if you accept that they're committing a genocide, you still wouldn't cut off their aid?
I think that defensive aid and offensive aid are different things, and I think at this point,
So
what
if
they're
Nazi
doing
Germany,
every single day,
if
is
Nazi
doing,
Germany said we want defensive aid, I mean, it's
on.
just you have to see where they're all weapons that are being shipped. In
they're
another
not using
context,
the weapons that they're using right now. I mean, to be honest, if you look at what's happening on the ground, the military part of this conflict is, for the most part, over. What they are doing, what they are doing
Senator,
every single day is around aid, and they are hurting people.
Oh my God, bro. Oh my God, bro. She is so sucky. Bro, they're still drone striking Palestinians with the weapons we sent them. You idiot. You idiot. Oh my God, bro. She's making it seem like, hey, Israel, they're not doing military intervention anymore. So basically, they're having aid sites. She's talking about those aid sites that the IDF is shooting up Palestinians, getting aid. Like that's what she's talking about, by the way. Oh my God, bro.
Have
Around the
slaughtered over
delivery of
1,000
aid.
people who were starving people just
But
trying to get aid.
That is
I
not
know you
high,
know this.
That's not high intensity bombs. That's
Yes,
not
you
the
know it.
weapons that that we were talking about 2 years ago. It's just not. I'm sorry.
Oh my God, bro. She didn't deny right there. Like I think a lot of people didn't catch that part. Like she didn't deny, like, hey, it's not the same type of weapons, that they used, 2 years ago, which they're still using those weapons, idiot. Yeah, I'll call her an idiot. Like because she's pretending to be an idiot. Like she knows what's going on. No, she plays a part. Oh my God, bro. It don't matter what type of weapons they use. Like they are using weapons, period, to let me continue. I'm almost done,
Every
man.
single day, the military reports that I read, they are traditional, like this is a military that has a bad strategy. It is not the bombs that we were seeing 2 years ago.
It's not a military that has a bad strategy. The strategy is forced starvation and
is-
ethnic
that is
cleansing.
not a-
That's
that is-
their strategy, and they're accomplishing it very effectively with the full backing of the United States government, including sadly Democrats.
Well-
and so a couple more questions that I know you have to run. I'm curious why you condemned Rashida Tlaib for using the rally chant, from the river to the sea, something she said for her evokes equal rights.
Yep.
And you have not condemned Randy Fine, who said that Gazans should, quote, starve away, who floated that the Gaza Strip should be nuked, who called Ilhan Omar and Rashida Tlaib and Zoran as well, called them Muslim terrorists. Where is the concern over him?
I have no problem condemning Randy Fine, who I don't know. I'm sorry, I don't know who that person is. I have no problem.
She know who he is. She heard of him before. She probably agree with what he said. She agree with what he said. Like Randy Fine is so pro-Israel is that even AIPAC had to say, yeah, there's a little bit of extreme for us, Yeah. The same Randy Fine that said, yeah, bloodshed should be all over the street. Yeah, and then she didn't even say anything about what when they censored Rashida Tlaib for saying something that's not anti-Semitic. Like, I can't believe these dang stupid ass people said from the river to the sea is anti-Semitic. Oh God. Oh man, like I don't even know who he is, bro. She know who he is. She probably don't, you ain't gotta know the motherfucker personally. You see what he's been saying. Like you oh my God. Oh my God, bro.
Condemning someone who talks like that.
Senator, we have to ask your last question because your staff is telling us. Do you think AIPAC should register as a foreign lobby?
I don't know the answer to that. I think that
That's damning. She did a home. She said, let me see. Let me think here. Damn, I get money from AIPAC. Shit. If I say yes, then they might cancel me. But if I say yes, they might cancel me. If I say no, like, I don't know the answer to that. Oh my God. Like, oh man, if this is what the Democrat Party, the DNC, wants to push out in the years to come, like the Democrats are just going to lose every major election going forward. My God, bro. Oh lordy.
I know plenty of people who think they should. I
It's
don't.
kind of a cop-out answer, don't you think?
I mean,
Yeah.
I literally, I just guess I'd have to look at the definition. I certainly have had my tough moments with that organization, and
So you stop accepting their funding?
you got to get your facts straight. I have not been endorsed by AIPAC. I have not. I'm sorry.
Oh my God, bro. Let me pull it up right quick. Hold on. Let me pull it up. Give me a sec, man. She's full of shit. Like, what are you talking about? What are you talking about, bro? Like, Like, bro, nobody, man. And then let me see. Let me pull it up. Slotkin. Let me sh- let me share my screen right quick. Elissa Slotkin. Let me see. Like, this woman thinks we fucking stupid, bro. She think we stupid. She thinks we stupid. Let me share my screen. Um, I mean, like, when you get this amount of money from APAC, um, yeah, yeah, Miss, I had a problem with that organization. Like $656,000 you got from man. You got oh God, like for independent expenditures, campaign contributions received for pro-Israel interest groups. So that's APAC included, along with other people. Like it ain't 100% APAC, but it's still Israel lobby money. This is why she can't have it. That's why she said there's no answer to that. That's no answer to that. You know. Oh Jesus Christ! Like this is the scum that's in this. See, this is the scumbaggery that's in our government, man. Like really, all these people need to be fucking primarily kicked the fuck out. That's the bare minimum. Really, like we need a new system of government, but for the time being, like all of these motherfuckers, man, need to be in hell. All of them. The Elissa Slockins, the Randy Fines, Joe Biden's, Donald Trump's, Kamala Harris's, Lindsey Graham's, all of these psychopathic maniacs, all these motherfuckers. They need to be fucking like in hell with a skew. Like my mama used to say my mom used to say, mom said, the evil people gonna be in hell, and hell is hot. Gonna be a skew. They gonna be rotating because it's so fucking hot. There we go. We cooking in that motherfucker. That's what these motherfuckers need to be at, bro. Like, yeah.
I was the first Jew elected to the Senate that was not endorsed by any Jewish group, AIPAC, J Street.
You've been the recipient of their funds.
In 2018, when I first ran.
Oh my God. Like Krystal Ball just instantly shut her ass up. Like, I haven't been endorsed by any Jewish organization. But Krystal Ball, like, bro, you see AIPAC money, bro. Damn. Oh, now she be getting another cosplaying answer. Watch this.
People who were members, yes. But I've not been endorsed since then. And I just got to be honest, like, I think that this is where facts really matter. I've had very, very difficult.
Bro, you got $600,000 total from pro-Israel PACs. Like, bro, like, it just started in 2018, bro. Nah, that's bullshit. That's bullshit. Nah. See, on that bullshit. But all these motherfuckers, they ain't just looking like all these motherfuckers on that bullshit. So yeah.
Difficult conversations with my colleagues in that organization, and made a choice back in 2021. So that was the first time I was up for re-election. So I understand that there's a sort of, like, again, cornered position, but to me, like, I call balls and strikes as someone who served in the Middle East.
I have one more question I have to ask you.
I don't know why everybody that try to be so nuanced, maybe I kind of say it too, but I say it because I'm mostly right most of the time. Why? Like, I call balls and strikes. I'm that, I'm that. I'm like, come on, man, stop it. Like, you don't call balls and strikes. You're Israel's, like you Israel's token child. Like, Jesus Christ, bro.
We do the show. I really do my best to try to uphold, like, basic human rights, Palestinian humanity, oppose the killing of innocent civilians wherever that happens. And I have to tell you, like, I feel really guilty that I'm not doing enough. I think all the time about, I'm a mom, I think all the time about those moms who can't feed their babies. Mm-hmm. Those babies are starving to death. And I just want to know, like, you're a United States Senator, you did vote for some of the bombs that were dropped on refugee camps. When kids have been sniped in the head tents firebombed, people set on fire. The entire Gaza Strip turned into rubble. And now we're seeing these emaciated bodies of babies starving to death every day. And I
know what you can do.
Does it eat you up? Does it eat you up? Do you think, like, what more could I do? Do you regret any of your votes? Do you regret
let me tell
any
you what
sort
I
of
was working on this
complicity?
morning. A group of Jewish rabbis and Muslim community leaders came together with a proposal that we are working on just getting, like, if we can't get other aid in, at least get baby formula and nutritional supplements for children in. Let that be kind of a...
I'm gonna end it right there. So, wait. After all what Krystal Ball said, she didn't listen to a bleep of what she said. Like, Krystal was saying, like, does that sting? That like Krystal said, I'm a mom, and parents can't feed their babies are dying, people getting bummed in tents. But all this is I can say from all that is, hey, we trying to find a resolution to bring aid in. Also, bring aid in for the babies, but the adults, they could die. But who's going to feed the babies? The babies can't feed themselves. So yeah, that right there showed me that hey, listen, Slotkin don't give a shit about the Palestinians, bro. None of them do, man. All these people have blood on their hands, man. History will look back at all of these assholes, that took AIPAC money, that took pictures with Benjamin and Yahoo, that said a bunch of gruesome stuff that should get you banned on Twitter, by the way. Like, imagine me saying some stuff like that about some other people on Twitter. The stuff Randy Fine said, like, that'll get me suspended off Twitter. Like, because Randy Fine is, because Twitter, favors Zionism and, it's pro-Nazi, hey, it's fine. A United States congressperson could say shit like that. But if I say free Palestine on fucking Facebook, I can get my fucking account taken away. See, so that's the world we live in. So, hey, I don't usually do this, but hey, give credit to Krystal Ball for not giving her a softball interview and Saga too as well. If you haven't watched it already, go check it out, man. Breaking Points on YouTube. Just type in Elissa Slotkin Breaking Points, it'll pop up. Like, this is how independent media has to do these politicians. If they, obviously Elissa Slotkin, I'm pretty sure next time her team is going to vet these podcasting platforms. I'm pretty sure next time Elissa Slotkin gonna be on a podcast, she gonna be on that podcast where these fucking losers interview Benjamin Netanyahu, ask him, oh, do you like Burger King, man? Do you like Burger King? Instead of telling him why is he killing innocent women and children every day. But he like Burger King though. Like, that was she gonna be on. She gonna be on podcasts like that, the ones that give her the softball interviews. Like these people, they think because they have power, a lot of times some of these people really think they God, bro. They think, hey, I'm coming onto your platform, so you gotta give me a softball interview, bro. Like, you can't question me. You can tell Elissa Slotkin, like, she got a little tense at the end, like Krystal Ball is in the wrong. Like, and Krystal Ball, compared to me, if I had an opportunity to interview Elissa Slotkin, like, I'm gonna really call her out. I'm like, you have blood on your hands. Like, I'll say stuff like that. Like, you and these other Democrat and Republican people, Congress people in the government, like, y'all have blood on your hands. Y'all are fucking disdain. Y'all gonna be in the history books as fucking disdain when people look back at it 40, 50 years from now. They're like, holy shit, the United States is an evil ass country, man. To allow Palestinian women and children die because we funded a apartheid state. So yeah, again, shout out to Krystal Ball, shout out to Saga, check it out.